So now I've got all my files linked, I'm just going to set up the canvas. So in the index.html I've got these two canvas tags, and really what I'm doing in the code.js is just talking to that section, and the style is just managing the way the page looks with the margins. And I'll talk a little bit about these margins later, but I don't want to. It's one of those things that I will talk separately about because I don't want it to interrupt the code. So although these are linked, I now need to sort of start talking to things. So in JavaScript we declare a variable with var, and I want to link to that canvas element. So I'm going to say my canvas is the document. Now that means the web page, so I'm really thinking of the whole web page here. Document dot query selector. I didn't come up with this. This is part of JavaScript. What that is saying is on here, all of these are sort of selectors. It's got a special name. I know I called them elements and tags. They're also called selectors. And it's saying query means question or find. It's saying find the selector that is called canvas. So query the selector for canvas, and that is going to be stored in a variable called canvas. So that is my sort of link. Everything that I do, I need to say I want to do it on that canvas, and it knows where it is. So that's my first line. The next thing I need to do is sort of tell it how I want to draw. So I'm going to do var c. Now a lot of people do ctx. You might see this if you're in or looking at tutorials in JavaScript. We call it a context. I'm just going to call it c if I'm really lazy, and that c is the element canvas dot get its context. That means it's a kind of like toolkit. It's got all the paintbrushes and how to draw things, and that is called a context. And it can do several things. It can do sort of three-dimensional drawings, but we don't have the equipment or the machinery to do that. But we are going to do a sort of 2D page in 2 dimensions. So we're going to ask it to get a 2D canvas, so it knows how to draw everything in 2D. And that's basically it. So if I save that and refresh my page, if I've got any errors, it will sort of complain. We seem fine there. Now, although I've set up the canvas, I need to set up the width of the canvas, so that it could be the whole screen, or it could be the height. And web pages are, well, you might have an Apple Watch and it's not the full screen. It might only be that section there. So the width and height might change depending on what you are looking or the device you're looking at it on. It might be longer than it is wider. It might be wider than it is longer. It might be a very small area. It might be a very large area that's displayed across a billboard in the centre of London. We just don't know. But we can get the whole width. We know what the width is, and we can do that by saying we've mentioned the canvas, and we need to set its width to the inner width of the browser. So that is saying I'm setting it to the inner width of the browser, and I can do the same with the height. Canvas.height is the inner height of the browser. Now it's inner because a browser's got things on the outside as well, such as it goes right up to the top of the window here, and it's got a sort of tab bar, and then it's got an address bar, but we're looking at the inside, just on the body, and that sets the height and the width. And the problem is we can't really see that. So in the next video I'm going to quickly pop over to styles and show you how to sort of change this height and width and be able to view it on the screen.